Hello fellow football connoisseurs and welcome back to the Quick Take. I hope you're all doing well during a period of darkness as a Chelsea fan. It is not easy at the moment. We do have a lot of talk around the club, just things are falling apart and everything with Maurizio Pochettino, but we do have some rather interesting news regarding a former Chelsea manager loving the idea of returning to the London club. Before I continue, I would like to quickly remind you I am running a giveaway with OwnASaber.com where at 15,000 subscribers you could be in with a chance at winning the King of London lightsaber, the perfect saber for every Chelsea fan. 3 participants will be chosen and all you have to do to enter is subscribe to the channel and check the pinned comment down below for more information. And with that, on with the video. This coming in from Mail Sport. Jose Mourinho would love to return to Chelsea despite the chaos at his former club, as his wife and children still live in a £25 million mansion in London. Now, there has been a lot of discourse surrounding Jose Mourinho as of late, and my thoughts and my beliefs around him as of recent has been relatively no. I think there are better interim, that's the only way I would take him, interim. I think there is better interim options available, including, maybe not even interim, but if we're able to get in Hansi Flick now, instead of waiting for the summer and then potentially dealing with that noise, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But it does look like Jose Mourinho could be a potential option as interim. Now, he isn't the manager he once was. I think we can all agree, I think we all saw it during the Tottenham Hotspur All or Nothing documentary, that his staying power, maybe is the right word to describe it, in the Premier League has faltered slightly. And I'm just going to go over his win percentage from his most recent club, starting with Real Madrid. So Real Madrid is quite good. He was there for around 3 years, played 170, well, didn't play, but he managed 178 games, 71.91% win rate. Then at Chelsea for his second run, 136 games, 58.82 win rate. And then things start to decrease from there. And then he was at Man United for 144 games, 58.33, so only a slight decrease. And then he went to Tottenham for 86 games, a much bigger decrease in terms of win percentage at 51.16. And then at Roma, where he did win the Conference League and was the runner-up in the Europa League, he had a win percentage of 49.28. Now, Jose Mourinho is known for his ability to grind out games, whether you want to call it park the bus football. He has a way of grinding out results, and that is something that we have failed to really find following the dismissal of Thomas Tuchel, someone who's able to implement a system that doesn't allow for stupid mistakes, or allows for stupid mistakes to be reduced in terms of their frequency through the way the team is set up and the way that they play, in terms of playing out from the back and that kind of stuff. Now, again, at Roma, he was fired earlier this year in January, and he had a win rate of 49.28%, and I'm just looking at Maurizio Pochettino's win rate at Chelsea this season, and it's 45.16. And he did play a 3 at the back system, or a 5 at the back system, when he was at Roma, predominantly the 3-4-3 or the 3-5-2, which I'm just going to show you here. Here we have the 3-5-2 system, which he set up against stronger opponents. In net, I'd imagine him to start Petrovic, Badiashile, Thiago Silva, Disasi as the back three. Whether Colwill is back fit enough, who knows. Malagusto at right wing back, McCallum Mudryk playing on the left wing back, kind of reminiscent of the El Shaarawy role. He was originally a winger, and then he was turned into kind of a left mid, left wing back under Jose Mourinho, and was very successful there. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Conor Gallagher in the midfield. I think he would like that presence that is Conor Gallagher in terms of winning the ball back out of possession, the pressing nature. But I also think he'd appreciate the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo for their technical ability. And then I've got a front two of Nkunku and Cole Palmer. I think Cole Palmer's been on fire this season, and working alongside Christopher Nkunku under Jose Mourinho, I think arguably he may find more success in that partnership than he would with Nicholas Jackson. Although I do have Nicholas Jackson starting in my 3-4-3, which is basically the same, but Gallagher doesn't start. Instead, Nicholas Jackson starts in that extra role in the attack with that one less number in the midfield. But it does move into a 5-3-2 in defense, basically just Chilwell or Mudryk dropping dropping a bit deeper, and Gusto doing the same on the other side. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Gallagher, or whoever is the third attacker who's willing to drop deeper, most likely Cole Palmer, leaving Jackson and Nkunku up front. So that allows for a lot of strength in terms of defensive shape. It allows for an overcrowd in the midfield, and of course the midfield is one of the most important areas of the field. And then you're able to defend in wider positions with Mudryk and Gusto, with back three, a strong back three right behind them, keeping that solidity in the defense. But to me, the appointment of Jose Mourinho, it doesn't just come down to defense, and it doesn't just come down to tactical structure, because if he is to come in, it will be an interim. And we saw what happened last season when we brought in a former Chelsea manager, a Chelsea legend, in order to try and bring back some morale, bring back some good feeling to the club in Frank Lampard. And we did see this predicament mentioned in an article by The Athletic, and reported here by Chelsea Transfer. Chelsea feel it would take a significant downturn in form for a similar decision to be taken over Pochettino, as firing Potter in April 2023 did not pay off, and the team's campaign actually unravelled further from there. Well, that is because you brought in Frank Lampard, a relatively inexperienced manager who didn't have the best time at Everton and was walking into a very, very toxic and just horrible situation in terms of the club's direction going forward. Everything was just spiraling out of control, and adding Frank Lampard into the mix, someone who's not really experienced to the level at which you need to be in order to stabilize something like that, that was a massive mistake. And if the owners want to use that as evidence as to not bringing in an interim like Jose Mourinho, then I would question that reasoning. I really would. What I think Jose Mourinho would do if he comes in is he would bring that sense of Chelsea that I think has been missing from the club. Since Maurizio Pochettino has come in, I haven't been able to see him as the Chelsea manager. I've only ever been able to see him as the Spurs coach, and I doubt I'm alone in that thinking. And that really is down to Poch, because he hasn't really made any real effort in order to connect to the fans, in order to move on from his perception as Tottenham manager, other than that interview at the start of the season, which really, looking back now, it was just to try and get some fans on side and bring some good feeling going into the season ahead. I also think we would see a change in the behaviours and the attitudes within training at Cobham. We have heard recently lots and lots of negative reports coming out of Cobham regarding the players' attitudes, their willingness to work harder, to stay longer. And I do think Jose Mourinho would rally the players together and get them working as a team, maybe in a way that Maurizio Pochettino has failed to do so far this season. In terms of experience, there's not many managers out there as experienced as Jose Mourinho, especially in the English game. I mean, he's coached 3 big teams now in England, Chelsea, Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, with varied levels of success. Another potential argument for bringing Jose Mourinho back to Chelsea is his record in cup finals. This is coming in from the Metro. Mourinho has won 18 out of 22 finals he has contested as a manager. He goes into these games to win, not necessarily to play beautiful, free-flowing football. He goes in to win at any cost. And right now, that is what we need. We need to win this cup final against Liverpool. That is imperative for our future in terms of getting European football. Even if it isn't Champions League football, we need European football. And I don't know about you, but I would certainly trust someone like Jose Mourinho as head coach going into a final than Maurizio Pochettino, who is known to bottle finals, especially against Liverpool. In terms of final thoughts, I would have to admit I would feel a lot happier and a lot more comfortable with Jose Mourinho on the touchline than Maurizio Pochettino, in terms of knowing that the person who is directing these players and who is working with them day in, day out actually understands their role and the levity of it. Do I think he is past his best? Absolutely, and that is why it would be imperative that it is only an interim, a short-term burst with Jose Mourinho that allows us, and he should know this coming into the job, that allows us to plan ahead correctly this time for a new manager come the summer transfer window. And during that interim time, the two sporting directors in Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, I believe, should be either moved out of the club or at least moved into more of a scouting role, and then a serious director of football is brought in. An Andrea Berta, a Marco Nepp, a Chiki Begiristain. You know the names that I like, and you know the names that I think should fit Chelsea going forward if we actually want to compete at the highest level again. This will then give us ample time to plan ahead for the summer. We will, of course, be competing against the likes of Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Bayer Leverkusen, Barcelona for a new manager. And so getting an experienced and fantastic director of football, someone who a manager would look at and think, that's someone I can actually work with, and that's someone who I know can build me a fantastic team. That is important. That is more important than anything. And so, in conclusion, after going over the facts and after really thinking about it, would I take Jose Mourinho back at Chelsea? Yes, with an asterisk. It must only be an interim, and as soon as he is through the door, the directors leave, a new director comes in, and we begin planning ahead for the summer in terms of finding the perfect manager to fit this team. But that about wraps up today's video. Jose Mourinho to Chelsea on interim. Would you take him, yes or no? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. As always, if you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I've been the Quick Take, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.